Be careful what you optimize for. What you measure is what you're going to get results for, which sounds great on the surface, but there can be some downsides. So let's talk about this a little bit more and how you can avoid some issues. I'm Adam with the Productivity Academy, and like I said, I want to talk about how we focus or optimize or measure things and why this can sometimes have some downsides, which on the surface may sound kind of silly, but measuring can be a really good thing. It's powerful. It helps us focus. It's a way to track things. Otherwise, we might just kind of go all over the place. So on the surface, definitely a benefit, and I'm not going to tell you not to measure or optimize things. But focus can backfire if the wrong thing gets in our spotlight or we're tracking the wrong thing. In a productivity or personal productivity sense, right? It's about doing the right things, not just doing things. And when we measure things or we track things, that starts a feedback loop. So it won't just be this one time. Maybe you're looking at a call center that only measures call length. So you're going to have people who are going to be optimizing for the shortest calls and get worse outputs likely, instead of maybe measuring for customer satisfaction or whatever it be. I don't manage a call center. I'm not sure what the best metric to measure would be, but if it's just short call length, that could be a problem. So what's an example from personal productivity? How about when we track hours worked instead of outcomes, right? We end up busy, but not effective, and certainly not actually productive. So that's why a lot of times if you're wanting to get things done, you want to maybe give yourself a time limit or make a SMART goal that's time bound, so that you move through things and you're maybe not tracking just, hey, I worked 6 hours on a project. What is the actual outcome? Or if it's a longer thing, what's another metric you can do that has kind of a positive feedback loop? And so just taking some time when you are measuring things, whether it's yourself, it's your team, your company, whatever that is, a lot of times you want to put some thought into this, because again, you can start measuring an output and realize down the road, oh no, this got us focused onto the wrong thing, or it may just be slightly off. And I will say that this isn't the end of the world. You can adjust as you go. And a lot of times the metrics or whatever it is we're going to measure isn't going to be so wrong that it really messes things up. It could just get us focused on a path where there's some unintended consequences, like the call center idea, where if we're only worried about call length, that ends up having a negative effect over time, although there may be some positive outcomes to that as well. So what is a way that we could do this? Well, like I said, there can be upsides and downsides, and this isn't always just a black and white situation. So for an example, you could combine quantity and quality. So going back to the call center example, we could talk about total calls made and, deals closed, or customer satisfaction rating. And we look at those, and over time you adjust as needed. Maybe one gets weighted more. They're not equal. And in the personal productivity and all of these, scheduling some time to look at what these are doing. Are they meeting your requirements, and adjusting if not? I do this myself, and I'm getting ready to update some for a business I'm involved with, where we have some metrics, and at the beginning it seemed great. Over time we paid less attention to them, and we realized that these are just kind of lagging indicators. They're not really exactly what we need, but it got us to the place where now we have a better idea of what we want, and we can update those, the metrics that need to be updated, and we're closer to our objective of having these good measurements. Whereas if we just had never done anything, well, we wouldn't be where we're at today, and we wouldn't be making these adjustments. So I would encourage you to look at what you're measuring. If you're not already, start doing some. And over time, schedule it maybe into your weekly review. Your quarterly review can also be a great place. And say, hey, I'm measuring the right things. How do I feel about this? Is this moving me in the directions I want to go? Because we certainly want to be optimizing over time. But you don't need to be, focused on this maybe on a daily basis, but just make sure that you're measuring the right things. And is it aligning with the goals and the things that you want to get done? Thanks for watching.